What's up, man? Welcome back to Gym Tan Beef, and today's video is something that's been weighing on my heart for a while. And that topic is what happens when you start to grow and you start to lose all your friends. And now this is something that I've gone through recently, and when I say I have no friends, I'm gonna leave my wife out of my friends. I would consider my wife literally my best friend. Like, that's kind of a cliche thing to say, and I kind of have some hesitancy saying that because I think as a male you need male friends. You can't say your wife is your best friend in the sense that like she replaces some male that would be close to you and you could shoot the shit with, you know, guy stuff. You can't talk to your wife or your girlfriend the same way you can talk to your guys. But basically, the only person I have in my life who I can talk to right now is my wife. And this really just started to happen ever since I started my journey on social media. I started posting on Instagram probably about 2 years ago, and then I started on YouTube just about a year ago, and I started to get consistent about 3 months ago. But something that really changed when I started posting on social media is I saw what I thought were my close friends and my close people. They just disappeared and they stopped supporting me. And it's strange because literally the strangers, it's strange because the strangers will literally support you more than your friends. Friends that you've had for years, friends that you've done crazy things with. And this just all goes into human psychology. When you start to grow, there's this effect called crabs in a bucket. And when a crab starts to escape a bucket full of crabs, the other crabs will literally pull them back down. It's like they're saying, bro, you're not going to escape. Like, if we can't escape, you're not going to escape. And that's how people are too. Like, people have this mentality of like, when they see you reach for your dreams, when they see you start posting on social media or being the person that you want to be, they see that you have stepped out of your box. And by box, I mean like we're taught in life that you need to go to college, get a 9-to-5, and then just work the rest of your life, retire, and die. That's the box we're in. At least that's the box I was in with the people I was hanging out with. Just get your 9-to-5, work your whole life, and die. And then when you step out of that box because you want something more, and then you want something more for your future family, then other people are like, what the fuck? How did he get out of his box that easily? He just literally stepped right out of his box. Because what you don't realize is you might think that you're self-conscious, and you are self-conscious, because I'm self-conscious. Obviously, I'm talking about how I lost friends. There has to be some like self-conscious thoughts out there of like, why did I lose them? What did I do wrong? Like, those thoughts literally haunted me for a while. But everyone is self-conscious. You're self-conscious, I'm self-conscious, all your friends are self-conscious, your parents are self-conscious. Everyone is self-conscious deep down. And so everyone's in their box, their self-conscious box. And when they see you step outside of the box, they're saying, what the fuck is that guy doing? He just stepped right outside of his box. How is he that comfortable stepping outside of his box? And to you that's watching this, just think about if you started posting on social media every day. How weird would that be for you? Like, how weird would it be for you to put yourself out there, posting a reel every day, posting talking stories every day, posting YouTube videos just like this? It would be weird. It was weird for me. Like, I'm just now starting to get used to YouTube. I just got used to Instagram. Like, I post talking head stories and I just started getting better at that. But I stepped out of my box. I was in that 9-to-5, get married, die, and retire box. And I stepped out of that box, and all my friends are still in that box. So they're thinking, how the hell did he get out of his box so easily? And in a way, they're jealous of that. And I guess jealous would kind of be the wrong word, but they're scared. You scare them, and you make them feel self-conscious as well. I would say jealous, self-conscious, and scared. Scared would be like, they're like, what? Why does he have the courage to step out of his box just like that? Like, he just started posting reels on Instagram. He just started posting YouTube videos. He just started his training business. How did he just do that? Like, a lot of people dream about doing something, but they just talk. They just talk. And Kanye says it the best. He says, gangsters gonna walk, pimps gonna talk. So if you're a gangster, you're getting business done, you're walking. If you're a pimp who's just taking easy money from selling girls, you're just a talker. You're an easy talker. But anyways, you step outside of that box, and that makes them afraid. And they're also a little jealous in a way. And the jealousy comes from just like, again, you stepped outside of the box. They wish they didn't have that fear to go outside of their box. They wish they could step outside of the box and be whoever they wanted to be. And I've had this calling to step outside of my box for a long time before I ever started posting on social media. Because before this, I was a realtor, and I hated that job. I hated that job so much. Well, not before my finance job. I probably hated that job more, but being a realtor sucked too. It's just my natural ability is in health and fitness, and to be able to help people through fitness transformations. That's just like what I naturally love to do. I love to talk about health. I love to go to the gym. I love to get in the sun and get a tan, and I love to eat beef. That's why I literally call myself Jim Tan Beef. But I've been wanting to start on Instagram or YouTube for a while. And I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this, you see the same thing. You see all these people out here living on their own terms, posting on social media. They get to be in Costa Rica just like this. They're posting from Europe. They're just traveling the globe. And I'm sure you want to do that too. But you got to take that next step and actually step outside of that box. And maybe you don't want to post on social media. Maybe you just want to get jacked. Maybe you just want to get shredded. And maybe you're afraid your friends might care what they think about you. And a perfect example of this is one of my one-on-one coaching clients. He was afraid that his friends would start making fun of him when he started eating healthy. Now, this kid was in college, and he was saying, bro, I don't know what my friends are going to say if I start eating yogurt and blueberries at lunch. Like, they're going to make fun of me, bro. And he kept trying to come up with ways how he could eat this yogurt in secret. He was like, well, bro, maybe I could bring a big tub, and then I could put it in my locker, and then midway throughout the day, I could put some yogurt into a smaller bowl, and then I'll mix my honey and the berries in the locker, and then I'll eat it right there in my locker. And I was like, bro, isn't that weirder than just sitting down and eating it at the table with your friends? Like, if they see you in your locker, like, scooping yogurt into your mouth, they're gonna think you're 10 times weirder than if you just sit down at a table and be like, this is what I fucking eat now. And I understand, like, when you're younger, you're a little more self-conscious than when you're older. And I always was the kid at school who brought weird food. Like, I was meal prepping when I was a sophomore in high school, and I never really stopped. So it's something that I've kind of been used to. But something I can relate it to also is when you start to work out, how your family starts to treat you. They start to be like, well, are you spending a little too much time in the gym? Are you sure you should be eating that many eggs? Are you sure you should be eating that much beef? They have all these questions for you, and you're trying to better yourself, and they're just sitting there like fat and dumpy. And what you have to realize is they're not questioning you, they're questioning themselves. And by questioning you, they make themselves feel better. So they're seeing you go to the gym, they're seeing you eat healthy food, and they're eating potato chips, and they're sitting on their ass watching Netflix at night. So they start to think, what's different about this guy? Why is he able to eat clean food? Why is he able to go to the gym all the time? Why is he able to stick to this? And I can't even get out of bed in the morning. And then they start to question themselves. So then therefore, they want to make you feel weird. So they start questioning you. They start asking you, are you sure you should be eating eggs? Like, are you sure you should be eating meat? Again, while they're eating a bag of potato chips or they're eating cereal, they're asking you about why you're eating eggs and why you're eating beef. At least this happened to me with my family. Like, my grandpa was adamant on telling me, like, you should not be eating that many eggs. You're eating way too many eggs every day. And he's literally, as he's telling me this, he's drinking out of a 7-Up. Ugh, Grandpa, you're literally drinking chemicals, and I'm eating eggs that are from God. And my grandfather is a religious man, but you guys know the boomers. Like, anything you tell them is gonna go way over their head, and they're not gonna understand that doctors are incentivized by big pharma and by the hospital system to keep you sick and fat. But that's what I was getting from my family. Is I was also getting that judgment on the food, on the working out. Like, they were asking me those questions. Should you be going to the gym that much? Don't you think you're working out too much? Don't you think you're eating a little too much beef and eggs? And in fact, I think my own mom was asking me all these questions. And I would literally be like, Mom, trust me, it's fine. Like, I'm sure you guys run into the same thing, especially if you eat eggs. There's so much fear-mongering around eggs these days. And again, it all comes from doctors. And if you want to know where it really comes from, in the 1920s, doctors in a sugar foundation paid off scientists to say that bad cholesterol comes from fats, from eggs, and from red meat, instead of where it really comes from, which is cheap processed sugar. But anyways, your parents and your grandparents are going to be brainwashed like that. And just like they're brainwashed like that, your friends, your cousins, your other family members, they're going to be brainwashed when you start following your dreams. The best example I can give you about how your friends will stop supporting you when you start following your dreams is every time a girl that me and my friends went to college with posts a thirst trap, they are literally the first person liking that thirst trap. They're always liking the thirst trap, but God forbid they like a post of mine. You dare like a post of Jim Tan Beef, but no, you'll like a thirst trap. And mind you, these guys have girlfriends for multiple years, like probably a 5-year girlfriend, and these dudes are liking thirst traps from random girls we went to college with. And that's where you can see their support really start to come in. Like, they really don't care about you that much. They're rather like a random hoe's thirst trap, even though they have a girlfriend, rather than like your post. And that's when it clicked in my head. If these guys are going to like just some random slut's thirst trap on Instagram, but not literally like anything of mine, then are they really my friends? Are they really that close to me? Like, if you don't support your boys, then like what are they? Like, they're not your friends, they're not your boys, they're just like any other random person. And like I said, I understand that when you hop out of that box, people are gonna look at you weird. Like, they're gonna think, how did he hop out of his box so easy? How is he following his dreams? But I don't think that's a reason to not support someone. But I just want you to know that that is coming your way. Like, if you're trying to achieve your goals, if you want to outgrow your hometown, you're just gonna have to step out of your box, and you're going to naturally lose friends. That's just how it is. And it's a cliche thing to say, but they always say you're a sum of your 5 closest people. And that's so true. Like, I come from a small town, and this small town, no one leaves. So when I first went to college, I had to leave all of my high school friends, because all of my high school friends, they only wanted to hang out with each other. They didn't want to branch out. They didn't want to make new friends. So then I went to college and I joined a fraternity, and I made a new group of friends. And now this group of friends were from all over the country, different parts of the state. We really got to match on our real personalities rather than just being on the football team together. And we grew really close over college. Like, those were my boys. Like, we did everything together. We have crazy ass stories together. But then before my wedding, I had a bachelor trip, and I was already posting on social media. And you can tell on that bachelor trip, the energy already changed a bit. Like, people were looking at me like I was different. Like, I was weird now. Like, just because I'm literally posting reels and posting YouTube videos, they're looking at me different. And it felt weird to me, and it threw me into a spiral. Like, you know how I talk about negative versus positive dopamine loops? This put me in a negative dopamine loop, because literally then I went home and I started to question myself. I started thinking I'm not an influencer. Like, look at my friends. My friends, literally I talk so much shit about doctors, but 2 of my best friends that were in my wedding, they're going to be doctors. They're in med school right now, and I talk shit about doctors all day long. So for them, okay, I understand. If they don't want to like my shit when I talk shit about doctors, and to them I'm pushing pseudoscience, I get that. But I have other boys who, they're not fucking doctors, and they're still not interacting with my shit, and they're still not supporting me. But anyways, after the bachelor party, I really started to second guess myself. I was like, you know what, maybe I am crazy for wanting to do this. You know, maybe if they're judging me, these are my friends. Think about what my family's thinking. Think about what the other kids I went to college with are thinking. Hell, think about what my high school friends are thinking. Like, this is dumb to admit to you guys, but that's just how I was thinking. Like, I think it's natural as humans, we want to fit in. Like, that's how humans have evolved throughout history, is fitting in. Because if you weren't with the tribe of humans, you were going to die. You were going to be an outcast, and you were going to have to fend for yourself. Like, humanity has thrived by staying together, and I think that's where a lot of our submissiveness, and well, not submissiveness, but more agreeableness has come from, is just wanting to fit in with the tribe. But in today's society, you don't want to fit into the tribe. Like, if you fit in with everyone else, your life is going to fucking suck. And like, that's exactly goes back to the box analogy. Like, think about today's world. You're literally told, go to school, get a good job, and then you'll retire. But look at the job market. Like, if you even go to college, you get paid worse out of college than if you were just to be a welder out of school. Like, it literally makes no sense. So literally everything society has told us as young men has been wrong. So you don't want to fit in this wrong box. You don't want to be in it. You need to be yourself. You need to be who God made you to be. And this is what I'm coming into. I'm finally reaching that point where, yeah, I'm Gym Tan Beef. I like to go to the gym. I like to sit in the sun and get a tan. I like to eat beef. That's what I like to do. And I like to get people healthy. I like to live a healthy life. And I like to help other people make transformations to transform their life and to transform their bodies. Like, I'm embodying that now, rather than embodying my old self that my friends would feel comfortable with, having the finance job, being a realtor. And while you do those jobs, and everyone will look at you and be like, okay, that's good that he's doing that job. It's good he's in his box, right? He's in his box, he's being good. He's no threat to us. But the thing is when you go to sleep at night and you're tossing and turning, thinking about your life, your friends don't feel those emotions. Your friends don't have to go to bed with your decisions or your life. They have to go to bed with only their lives and their circumstances. So at the end of the day, they don't give that much of a fuck about what you're doing. Sure, they may talk shit to others about it. Sure, your family might talk shit behind your back. That's just how it is. Like, that is literally built into the system. When you start to improve, when you start to do better, people will talk shit about you. Like, and it's so good. Like, if you're getting shit talked about you right now, you know you are on the right path. Because again, you don't want to be in society's box. You don't want to be like everyone else. So if people are talking shit about you for not being like everyone else, you know you are on the right path. Now I've talked about how I lost my friends, and I can't say that all my friends have just totally not supported me. Like, there's two that actually support me a lot. They actually support me more than my own family. And that's actually another point. Like, literally my own brother, my best friend growing up, like, literally me and him were like this growing up. Dude doesn't support me. Like, dude hasn't liked one fucking post that I've posted. Dude hasn't even interacted with anything. The one time he even viewed my story on Instagram, it's because someone sent him my story because I was talking about him. I was like, he's not gonna see this. And literally one of my other cousins sent him the fucking story. And that's the one time he watches my story, is when it was about him, me talking shit about him. He'll probably see this, but I'm already like probably 15 minutes into this video, so they probably don't have the patience to watch this far. But now I have to focus on the future. My old friendships are in the past. If my family doesn't want to support me, I can't hate them for it. They're my family. I still have to love my brother. I have to love my sister. I have to love my parents. I have to love my mom, right? I have to love my brother. I have to love my sister. I have to love my parents. That's just like built in. Honor your father and mother. You have to love them no matter what. But now that I got past those old relationships and how I felt about them, and I was still kind of holding on there for a while. Like, they'll come around. If I post enough on social media, they'll come around. But it's been 2 years of me doing this now. So if they're not supporting me now, I don't think they ever will. So I've let that go. Like, they're gone. Like, they can choose to support me in the future, but as far as them right now, they're gone. Like, they're not my friends. Like, if they haven't supported me, they're gone. I still love my family, but when it comes to this, I don't care what any of them think. They're gone. Their opinions are invalid. But moving forward, now I have to start thinking about, how am I going to make new friendships? How am I going to make connections with people who are like-minded like me? And I'm having a hard time doing this, is because I moved to Costa Rica with my wife for that very reason, so I could meet like-minded people, so I can meet people who want to go to the gym, who like eating beef, who like going out in the sun and hanging out on the beach. I thought I'd find them here. We didn't find them here. It's just a bunch of hippies here. They don't like going to the gym. They like going in the sun, and they don't like eating beef as much as I do. They basically like to do yoga and talk about yoga and spirituality. So I didn't find my people here. But moving forward, that's what I'm looking for. And that's why I'm moving from Costa Rica. Like, me and my wife figured out that it's not going to work here. And go watch my last YouTube video I posted. It's all about moving from Costa Rica, or I'll put it on the screen here so you guys can check it out. But it's the reasons why we left in the full story. But now we're looking for our group of friends again. We're looking for the people who we're going to be able to raise our kids with and be able to connect with. And a lot of people do tell me that once you have kids and once they start going to school, you're going to make friends with those families because they have the same like goals as you. They're family oriented. They're in the same place in life as you. Like, they have a kid that's the same age. So you can relate to them a lot more. But I want more in my friendship than just our kids being in the same grade. Like, I want to connect with a bro who actually likes to go to the gym, likes to be outside, and likes to eat meat. And I've made a lot of friends online through this. Like, this social media journey, I've made a lot of friends actually who love going to the gym, getting a tan and eating beef. Like, gym, tan, beef every day. Like, I know so many guys who do that online. It's just, I haven't met them in person yet. In fact, I did meet one guy here who's about the gym, tan, beef lifestyle. Oh man, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Pierce, if you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. But that's what I was looking for. Like, me and Pierce, we went to the gym together. Then we went to Segura's right after. We had some grass-fed beef, and they don't cook with seed oils there. Fucking amazing. And then we went to the beach after, got a tan in. Like, literally, we did gym, tan, beef. And it was just so natural. Like, me and bro were on the same page about politics, about how much of a waste of time sports is. We were just like on the same page. And I'm looking for a whole community like that. Therefore, I'm taking it into my own hands and I'm moving out of Costa Rica. And don't get me wrong, I like it here. I like the beach, I like the food here, I like my gym here, but I need the people, because as humans we need community. So the search hasn't stopped. Me and my wife are still looking. We're thinking about going to Europe next, seeing the expat communities over there. We're hoping if there's like ex-Americans over there, that they're more Christian and they're more just normal people. We're just tired of the yoga people here. Like, the yoga people, they're about astrology signs, again, yoga, doing cacao ceremonies, which are from satanic Aztec, ancient Aztec ceremonies, which were literally, the Aztecs were the one that would sacrifice people on an altar, like hundreds of thousands of people. That's the same people who do cacao ceremonies, and then these white people in the jungle take that over and they start replicating it. It makes no sense. Literally, as white people, we have God, and then they're literally replacing God with these like pagan, crazy gods. It just blows my mind. But I can't be around it. Like, I want my kids to be around Christ-centered people and not yoga-centered people, just because I met a kid here running on the beach the other day, and he was talking to me, and one of the first questions the dude asked me was, what's my astrology sign? I'm like, bro, you're 9 years old. You should not even know what an astrology sign is. Like, what type of nonsense is going on in your home? Like, you need to know who Jesus is. That's who you need to know. And in fact, I told him that. I was just kind of trolling, and he's like, who's Jesus? But he got it. But anyways, I'm moving on. I'm moving out of here. I'm still searching for my people. And this is the lesson that you can get from me from this video. Is you might lose your friends. You might feel like you're alone right now, bro. But trust me, dog, if you keep searching, you will find what you are looking for. And sometimes God just challenges you to have really good things. Like, think about high school. When you walked into high school the first day, or college, you didn't have any friends, but you made them. You made them over a period of time. And that's a time in your life when you're kind of like forced to be friends with people just because you're literally in class with them every day. So you start talking, hey, can I borrow this? Can I borrow a sheet of paper? You know, laugh at somebody with them, or you tell jokes to them. It's kind of like a controlled friendship. It's an arranged friendship, like an arranged marriage. Like, you're just sat next to each other, so that's why you start talking. But when you get to be an adult, you have to find people that you actually vibe with, that you're actually on the same page with. And that's going to take time, because I'm super, super unique. And you are too, bro. Like, you like stuff that very few people like. I like stuff that very few people like, especially in this modern world full of seed oils and people who love sunscreen. But think about it. If we're the small percentage that like weird things like the gym, being in the sun, eating beef, then that's going to take us a lot longer to find good friends. And I'll compare it to finding a wife. I dated so many girls before I found my wife, and I wasn't sleeping with all these girls. I was just like dating them. Like on Hinge, I would go on like a date a weekend. This was like for a whole fucking year. I was literally going on a date a weekend. Every weekend I was seeing a different girl, and I was being like, nope, because I was on the mission to find my wife. I had that mission in my head. I'm gonna find my wife. So I was literally just seeing all these chicks saying no. Some girls told me no, some girls ignored me. That's just how it is. You have to go through that trial and error. And after a year, I found my wife. The best wife I could ever ask for. I love her so much. She's perfect for me. She loves going to the gym. She loves being outside getting a tan. She loves beef. She wants to be a mother. She wants to raise kids. She wants to homeschool our kids. She wants to keep our kids away from seed oils and away from toxic environments. Like, she's the perfect woman for me. And I wouldn't have found her if I didn't go through all that trial and error. If I didn't spend a year looking for her. Or think if I gave up earlier. Think if I just settled for one chick that gave me attention. Like, there was plenty chicks out there I could have settled for that they liked me, but I didn't like them back. And I think a lot of you guys you're settling. But you can't settle when it comes to your girlfriend. You can't settle when it comes to your friendships. Because this is holding you back from being who you truly are supposed to be. Like, for example, my wife inspired me to start this. She inspired me to start posting on Instagram, to start posting on YouTube. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if this video would be here right now. I really don't know. I wouldn't be in Costa Rica right now. I don't think I would be. Because my wife told me, you are so into fitness, you are so knowledgeable about it, you have so much experience that you need to share this with other people. And when I heard that from my wife, it changed a wire in my head. Because like I said before, I wanted to do this for a while, but I always thought it was kind of cringe. Like, posting on social media, it's going to be cringy. Like, again, people are going to judge me. But then the thought came to me, if my wife is okay with me doing this and she thinks I should do it, then why the fuck do I care what anyone else thinks? Like I just told you guys, my wife is the perfect person. At least she's the perfect person for me. And if she supports my dreams and my goals, if she supports me wanting to raise a family on my own terms, wanting to make money on my own terms, being able to raise our kids where we want to raise them and homeschool them and teach them about Jesus Christ, then I shouldn't give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. And that's how you guys have to think. But ultimately, what I was trying to tell you guys through that was it's going to take time. Just like it took me a year to find my wife going on a date every weekend, it's going to take time to find friends. And it's not like I'm going to networking events every weekend, trying to make friends or going up to the beach talking to people. Like, that's probably a good first step to go make friends, right? Is be a little social and try to make friends. I definitely need to work on that, but it's going to take time to find people that I connect with. And I want it to kind of happen in a natural way. Like, I don't want to force anything. And maybe that's what's holding me back going up and talking to people on the beach, is just trying to force things that aren't there and trying to maybe make friends with people just for the sake of friendships. Like, I've had that in the past, friendships just for the sake of friendships, and then, like I said, they never supported me in my career path with social media. So I really want to concentrate and find good friends this time that come naturally, but I know it's going to take a long time. So I just have to put my head down, keep waiting on God's timing, keep following the path that God's gonna give me, and eventually God will bring me to the friends that I'm supposed to be with. And eventually God will bring me to the friends that I'm supposed to be with. But right now I just have to count my blessings, be lucky I have a beautiful wife that can be a great friend for me and that I'm on the same page with, and just ultimately I have to keep making radical changes, like moving to Costa Rica and then moving out of Costa Rica. Also, I can find my tribe. Also, I can find my community that I can raise my kids with. And it's not going to come easy. It's going to take time. It's going to be hard. And maybe God is putting me in this position right now so I can just be with myself, think through my thoughts, and really think through what I want for my future. And I really believe that's what he's doing. He's putting me in a spot of isolation so me and my wife can really think through what we want for our future family and just our future in general. So overall, I just have to keep on trusting in God's plan and stay patient. But that's all I had for you guys for this video. If you're gonna watch another video, YouTube thinks that you'll like this one the most next.